this person says my ex had MCS. He was someone who genuinely believed that everything was about him. One time, someone stole my backpack at work and he said, do you think that they did that because of me?
Hi, Hazel.
It's Azura.
And I'm Germaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Clevity's Podcast.
So today, we're discussing something that, yet again, I've learned from TikTok because TikTok is the best teacher.
Nice.
Is it really?
Apparently so. I don't know why I went to school. I paid so much money for that. Have you girls heard of main character syndrome?
Main character syndrome.
Yeah.
I haven't, but I'm gonna guess.
Uh-huh.
The word syndrome has a negative connotation to it.
Yes.
So main character syndrome, does it signify someone who is very self-centered, maybe, like the main character?
You think you're the star of the world.
Right.
Oh, hey.
Correct, no?
You guys are absolutely right. Main character syndrome, it's something like protagonist syndrome, where you think you are the main character in everybody's life. You kind of think that like the world revolves around you, you know, everything that people do, it must be at your expense or to serve you or your emotions in some way.
This is main character syndrome. This is different from main character energy, right?
Have you heard of that main character energy?
I'm thinking that's something positive.
Main character energy is a little bit more positive, yes. It's more like self-confidence.
It's a little more
Right.
sassy.
Yeah, which we will cover the exact difference later on. Let's talk about this syndrome first, right? Why is it so negative? It's not actually like a disorder. It's not like you go to the doctor, they say, you have main character syndrome, I give you 2 days MC.
For some people, it should be.
Oh my
2
God.
days not enough.
It's sort of a term to highlight some patterns of behavior. And this came around from TikTok, right? There was a parody where individuals portray themselves as protagonists, like, I'm a stay-at-home wife, you know, I'm a stay-at-home daughter, and this is what I do all day. But it's not true, it's a joke. It's
How
a joke.
would we, in my day,
Yes.
as a stay-home daughter in Singapore?
Exactly, yeah. I've actually
Oh.
seen that one. I don't know if it's a joke. She seems quite serious about that one. I also want to be. So it shows people who are confident, you know, showing off these main character vibes. But some people take it too far. Some people, they feel like their problems are the only ones that matter.
Well, I think at a younger age, there were more people like this. We were all a bit more arrogant, self-centered. In fact, at one point of me hanging out with both of you, I felt like I was suffering a bit from the main character syndrome. And I really pulled myself back. But you know why? Okay, every time we met up, I would tell you girls about my life. And then I would go on and on and on. And we only have that limited like 15 minutes in between our shifts, right?
But your life is very interesting.
And we want to hear about it. It matters.
Sweet. But at one point, I started to ask myself, am I talking too much about myself? Like, I want to know about their days as well, you know? But we only have 15 minutes.
Understand.
So there was one point in our friendship that I thought, no, I cannot have this like main character syndrome.
Anytime, baby. You can talk about yourself for 3 hours, Addison.
I think it depends, right? Because obviously, when you've been friends with someone for years, your life cannot be dramatic all the time.
Of
Sometimes,
course.
you know, your problems take center stage. Sometimes Azura's problems take center stage, and we take turns, right? I think this is more of like the extreme of one person's problems is always bigger than others. And I've had experiences like that in the past, where people found it quite tough to continue being friends with this person because their problem was always bigger. Their problem was always more severe. And in fact, they were. But in a friendship, it's always two-way, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, in recent years, I've met up with male friends whom, when we went out for like lunches, all he ever wanted to talk about was himself.
Oh.
Like, he really liked the sound of his own voice. That was the exact quote that popped up in my mind. And I just felt, this is draining my energy, you know. As much as I love to hear about your life, this can't happen all the time that we meet.
So he would never ask about your day, like, hey, how are you, Hazy?
I think after 1 hour into the conversation of him talking about himself, then he would like politely ask, hey, so how are you? But after like 3 minutes of me talking about my day, then it will be like,
I also laugh.
yeah, correct. Hey, I also know how that feels. You know what? What happened to me last week was blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, just finish the food and let's go.
I know people like that who will take any opportunity in the conversation to turn it back about themselves, right? I think this also shows a little bit of like, maybe they like the attention. They like the fact that, you know, the conversation is about them, especially in a group, right? There's always that one person who is a bit louder, who talks about, you know, their experience. Why? Azura's giving a very weird face. Are you feeling
Why,
some
you think you suffer from main character syndrome?
No, I just get sensitive to the word loud because that's why y'all call me all the time.
No, the one person, how do you say, like controls the conversation. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. they might also, expect some sort of special treatment.
Attention?
Exactly. They might expect that, their needs take
Center stage.
priority.
Precedence.
Yeah, over everyone. Like, let's say you're in a group, right? And you go on holiday, and wherever this person needs to go, like toilet or, stop here, stop there, you always have to adhere to them. But if someone else needs it, this person will be like, never mind, we go next.
Right.
Yeah.
Once, twice, let's say, right? Someone makes it about them because, maybe they're really trouble and they really need to get it out and just need to talk about it, sure. But if this person does it all the damn time, and then sometimes it comes to a point where it's a competition. Let's say you say, well, I'm very tired because I slept at 3 yesterday. Yeah, I slept at 4 leh. Oh my God. Mate.
Hey, speaking from personal experience, is it?
No, just things in my head.
No, but I feel like this happens to everyone. Everyone has that one friend. If you don't have that one friend, you are that one friend. That you always have to one up that person, right? Yeah, like if you're telling them, my boyfriend and I just fought last night, and then this actually happened to our PD, right? The other person was like, my boyfriend and I never fight.
Okay, good for you.
Right, being a friend is not about saying things like that. If you're a true friend, you have to be there to hear your friend out, empathize with them, and help them through their situation.
Yeah.
Right. And apart from that, I really cannot stand people who over dramatize a situation.
Oh, like how?
Yeah. Like, let's say they fell down and they want to share this with you. Wow, that whole story becomes like I fell down the stairs, I rolled down and I scraped my knees against the the wall or anything. And it just becomes overly negative and unnecessary.
I actually have a way to identify who may have MCS in your
share.
group of friends.
Oh, how?
This is one thing that I've noticed, observed, right? If this person, when someone else is talking about their life, and this person starts picking up their phone and looking away or not being interested in the conversation, then you know that they have a bit of MCS because they're not engaging in the conversation about someone else.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not polite.
No, I've noticed that, and it happens very often, but because so many of us are always on our phones. But if you go out with your friends, right, be there for them. Right?
Be in the moment.
Exactly. There are some MCS stories that we saw on Reddit. Someone said, I had a friend like this. Over the course of an evening with our other friends, she would tell the exact same story over and over and over again to every new person, regardless of who around her had heard it before. And every single thing that she did was premeditated to curate sort of the way that people look at her or people think of her.
So question, why are you still her friend? Why wouldn't you cut these toxic relationships out of your life?
Interesting. Why would we stay friends with someone that has a bit of like MCS? Maybe not 100% of the time they want to talk about themselves, right? Sometimes
or
they're
maybe
there for you.
Sentimental reasons.
Sure.
That's why you're holding on.
This one a bit extreme, but I feel like the usual MCS that we see, the slight here and there, usually I can sort of let it slide, Because main character syndrome at the end of the day, it's not toxic, I feel.
It's just
Most of them are not like toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, or maybe we haven't seen extreme ones.
Yeah.
Maybe the ones that we see are usually just like in some shape and form.
Well, I'll tell you about this one. You tell me if this is someone that you would cut from your life, okay?
Okay.
This person says, my ex had MCS. He was someone who genuinely believed that everything was about him. One time, right, someone stole my backpack at my workplace. And he said, do you think that they did that because of me?
You're fucking joking.
Why?
And I was like, this girl was like, why would they do that because of you? And he always just used to think that everyone was either in love with him or hated him, or just like even when passing by a random stranger, he'd be like, oh, do you think that guy likes me? He was like checking me out.
I'm
Things
sorry,
like,
what?
yeah, like a random stranger.
Definitely MCS.
Yeah,
This is MCS plus narcissist leh.
I think MCS
little
has a
bit,
bit
yeah.
of narcissism. You are right.
A
You are
lot,
right.
actually.
Yeah.
Oh, but I like this next story. So in this story, they have gone through a divorce already. So this guy says, my ex-wife, I could write a damn novel about her. Some highlights: dropping out of college repeatedly, then claiming to be educated in psychology because she watches YouTube.
Oh yes, the University of YouTube. I went there to.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
So, his ex-wife's major was geology, thinking businesses should be proud to serve her. She claims she was an industry insider because she once dated a director. Claims she saved Ryan Seacrest's career because she once insulted him in a bar.
This is definitely, yeah.
I think
it's
this tops the 3 examples we just talked about.
absolutely. This is the most extreme.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
It's hard to be with someone like that.
Correct. And they went through marriage. This baffles me. I mean, of course, they got divorced in the end, but
Sometimes, you
Wow,
know, I
just
think
wow.
it can start off as self-confidence, right? It starts off as like,
Right.
I'm confident in myself and my abilities and I love myself. And then over the years and over repeated trauma, it kind of turns into something a bit more negative. It may not be their fault.
hey, this is a very good point because I don't think all individuals who exhibit main character syndrome necessarily have a problem or a harmful mindset.
Correct.
You know, it stems from some problems, maybe low self-esteem.
I can see how at the start as well, it may seem as something entertaining. Like, you know, they always have drama. They always
Right.
have, you know.
Right.
Or you have so much confidence that, wow, I actually envy you for that.
Yes.
And that's why I want to be closer to you.
Possibly.
I do think that in our industry, a lot of people either have main character energy or main character syndrome. Just because of the nature of the industry, right? I don't think it's anything else. Maybe not so much in our market, but can you imagine, let's say, right, if you're Jenny of Blackpink, do you think you have main character
But you
syndrome? Because people idolize you, they look up to you, they compliment you. Years of that can rewire your brain into thinking that, hey, the world does revolve around me.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But it's different, you know, between main character energy and syndrome. Main character energy is confidence in yourself. It's positive, it's healthy. It's having a strong belief in, you know, your goals and taking actions to then achieve those goals, right? It's self-awareness. Like, hey, the world doesn't revolve around me, but when I walk into a room, I own it.
Oh, Laza make.
Right.
Yeah, what she said.
That's a very good point because sometimes I feel like I've been so conditioned to people asking me about my life that sometimes when I go to certain lunches with people who don't actually talk about what I do, I feel a bit like, good, let's take the conversation elsewhere. I'm more than
Right.
happy. But I have to agree, I do feel a bit like something's off.
Oh, like,
You know
is
what
it
I
'cause
mean?
they don't know who I am? Or
No. Like, of course, they know what I do. But maybe they've seen enough of my social media that they decided that, oh, they don't need to talk about my work anymore.
Right.
Maybe that could be it.
Yeah.
But that's a very timely reminder to remind myself to not let myself slip into this like MCS thing, right?
I'm the opposite. I think I don't like it when people ask about
I feel you, babe. Like
My
I have to
job.
challenge that. I think Azura loves talking about her life with her close friends.
Yes.
Yes.
with my
Not,
close
not
friends.
with like people that you don't really know.
Correct.
no,
Yeah.
so that's like telling them about your recent life events, right? Not when you have to answer the question. So how's it like being a radio DJ?
Yes.
200
that one.
times.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Correct. So actually, right, while y'all think like I'm noisy, I can't shut up,
But with us, it's true.
it's true.
That's what we see.
I know. But I'm only like that with people I'm really close with, actually. Like, people also think I'm an extrovert. They think, like, you know, I breathe and I make friends, you know, right? But when you put me in a dinner setting, for example, let's say, right, 20 people at a table sort of thing, and then in those settings, I realize that there'll always be like one or two who need to exert their presence there, right?
Oh.
And in that setting, I usually tend to step back. I
Okay.
get a lot quieter.
Yeah.
I don't speak very much actually. I'm a bit more like, you want to be the main character, go lah, go.
I feel you. Like I'm an extroverted character, but when I see someone who is even more extroverted than me,
Yes.
I just want to take a step back
Yes.
and like
In those situations, right, I become what they call the interviewer. That may be also like because it's like an occupational hazard, but I become an interviewer where I ask you questions about your life because you seem to enjoy talking about it.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't really like when people ask me, "Oh, how's work?" I'm be like, "Great, busy." Then I don't really want to expand on it
Yeah.
because where do I start, right? So I
Yeah.
just say,
I feel
"Yeah,
you.
great, busy." How about you? Then I turn the conversation around. Yeah. So main character syndrome, right, is sort of like an inflated sense of importance or authority, right? And you believe that you are inherently better than others, or you believe that your life is more interesting, your life is more worth hearing about.
Question. What if you have a friend and it just so happens that maybe they have a lot of troubles? That
Sure.
it seems like every time you meet, it's about them. But actually, it's because they do have a lot of troubles.
This is that girl that I was telling you about. People found it hard to stay friends with her because her problems were genuinely like, very, very serious. Like that's not a lie. And it was over years and years and years, right? But then it's how you engage with your friends and also make them feel important in your life. It's a very hard, it's a chicken and egg problem, right? I think at the end of the day, you still have to give that space to your friends, or you need friends who understand that, hey, like, let me just take the back seat in this friendship.
Because I had a friend who was going through something, one thing, we're talking about one thing,
Yeah.
and it's the same problem for 5 years. I listened to it for 5 years. And it was someone I saw like pretty regularly, like maybe once every 2 weeks. 5 years!
Oh man.
Very loud. How many years again?
But at the same time, I think it must be hard for him or her to step out of this situation.
5 years!
I know. Don't know
Yeah.
whether to be empathetic or annoyed at this point, actually.
No, exactly. And me being me, like, if you come to me with a problem, I will be there and I will listen,
Just not every 2 weeks for 5 years.
This is your personal friend, right? Like not in your workplace or anything, right? But how about in the workplace? Have you guys experienced anyone who you thought at first was main character energy, like confidence, but after a while slowly became like a bit more of arrogance? I'll give you an example of how this may be triggering for some who have colleagues with main character syndrome. This person thinks that everyone's schedule should revolve around them. I can see already, the face is very black. Like this person will be like, I cannot make it for this, I cannot make it for this, I have this on, ask someone else to go, ask someone else to do it. This may come off as, a bit of, arrogance, right? Because you think that everyone else's schedule depends on yours first.
Right.
I do know of some people, I feel, that maybe really do think that they are the star of their... No. You can be the star of your life. You should be the star of your life. Don't be the star of my life, lah.
No. Like in the end credits of your life, it's not even your name first, it's their name.
For what? Why?
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
But there are people, we know of people like that, who walk around and, think that their name comes before ours, lah.
Yeah, we know of some people. I love how it keeps saying, we know of a friend of a friend who basically this person thinks that they are the star. And when, we try to offer them help in terms of like maybe sometimes they're facing some technical issues or some problems, they just refuse to be helped because of arrogance.
Sometimes ego comes into play.
I know a lot of people experience this with their romantic partners. This is always a point of like people fighting and arguing.
Do tell.
It's like you always want to talk. This is an actual conversation I've had with my ex. You always want to talk about your day, but you never ask me, how is my day?
Which part are you?
The way she said it, she's on the receiving end.
Yes,
so you're the one
yeah.
who doesn't get your day listened to.
Correct. Like you always want to talk about your day, but you never ask me because I always ask, how was your day? And but then the question doesn't come back. So then I don't talk about it. So then I say that. And then for every conversation from that on, he will say, then, but how was your day? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel completely genuine. It feels like you ask me about my day so that you can eventually then talk about your day.
Understand.
It
But
doesn't
there's something you have
feel-
to let go of. You know what I mean?
Never mind, I let go of him already.
Whoa.
It's over. But you're right.
to be a part of this conversation.
No, but you are right. You are right. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes if this happens in the dating phase, then why let it get to a relationship? If you find like your communication patterns with this person is not exactly aligned.
Because some people's favorite color is red and then some people are colorblind.
No, because sometimes dating stage you don't see the colors, right?
Right.
And then
Love
the-
is blind.
Yeah, and then the colors become a bit clearer after that, and then it's too late.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's play a game.
Fair
Okay.
enough. Oh, I
Let's
love
play a
games.
game.
Okay.
I will give you some situations. Okay. And you tell me how you would react. Here's the situation. At your mom's birthday party, right? It's coming around the corner, your mom's
Okay.
birthday party, and you've planned a surprise party. But your partner becomes more focused on how they can contribute to the surprise than on your mom. He asks you, should I perform at her birthday? And then I break out into a song, and then I present her present to her at the end of the song. How would you react to a partner like that, who keep going on and on about their involvement in the birthday party?
I might actually see it as, oh, like you're putting in effort to like do something nice for her.
Yeah, actually, I feel like
Because like
it's
perform,
okay.
perform, and then like
Yeah.
you're trying to do something nice to add on to the surprise. No,
I feel like it's pretty sweet.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
Sure, yeah.
but like the pull out the present at the end of the performance on only, please. Yeah.
Okay,
Much.
how about this one?
Okay.
One? Celebrating your promotion because you just received a promotion at work. Congratulations.
Yay.
And you go home and you want to talk about it to your partner, obviously, right? You want to
Oh, I
share
would,
the
I
good
would.
news. However, after telling them, hey, I got a promotion, they say to you, that's great, babe. And you know what? I'm sure that you were only able to achieve that because, I was supporting you all the way.
What?
I've been
Even?
such a great influence in your career and your life.
I mean, even if that was true,
Yeah.
you don't have to say it.
Correct.
Right?
No, exactly.
Pick the right time to say the right things.
I
you
dare
guys.
one fella to come and tell me that. See what happened to you.
No,
So, yeah, this
definitely
is-
MCS.
Exactly. This is turning it around and not being able to give them the space to celebrate. Okay, you and your partner again.
one more, I love. Okay.
You're planning a first year anniversary vacation. You guys
Okay.
are just dating, not married. Your partner insists on determining the entire itinerary
Ooh.
without considering your preferences, assuming that their choices are what's best for the both of you. This itinerary also includes situations where they can exercise or read a book when both of you guys don't even like reading books, but because it's what main characters do. How would you feel if your partner takes the role of being the decider without asking you how you feel?
Reading when you don't actually read. It's a bit of an issue.
It's a bit of a for what?
Okay, now I'm gonna swing it a little bit.
Okay.
We've seen videos on TikTok
Sure.
where people talk about first dates and how the guy should plan everything without having to ask you anything. So like that, how?
But if like you plan like swimming and the girl doesn't know how to swim, like I don't know how to swim.
Then teach the girl lah.
Who goes swimming on a first date?
They always say, oh, take a girl swimming on the first date, then you can see her without makeup,
Oh,
You never
Say
heard of
what?
that?
I've never
Have you guys heard of
this.
that?
just come see me at work without makeup.
All the damn time, man.
Okay, I think it's sweet if a guy wants to plan everything.
Actually,
no, I would
me
love
too.
that actually.
Me too.
But also, considering that 1 year in, he should know your preferences.
Yes.
True.
And I feel like I would take over the itinerary and make adjustments on my own. And he should be fine with these adjustments.
I got no itinerary, sorry.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so I think it's not so clear cut, right? Who has main character syndrome, who doesn't? I really don't think there's like a line that's being drawn.
The bigger issue that would be if he already knows your preferences but disregards them to
Right.
just do whatever he wants.
But it's the intention.
Yeah.
Behind the actions, yes. So I agree. So in conclusion, I think if you now have learned about MCS and you find yourself, maybe exhibiting some signs of it, maybe it's time to unlearn those, and we'll be reflecting very heavily on ourselves too.
We will.
And here's how you can actually assess if you have main character syndrome.
Number one, self-reflection. Just take some time to reflect on your behavior and your interactions with others. Think about how others react to what you say. I think that's a huge telltale sign. Number two, self-awareness.
Oh, my favorite.
I know sometimes these cannot be helped, but you just got to recognize and acknowledge your insecurities and listen to what your friends have been telling you.
Like, for example, if you always want to be the one that's being heard in the conversation, why is that? Is it because that
Correct.
growing up you were never heard, your problems were never heard? It's time to take a good look at that and be aware of that.
Which brings me to point number three. Practice empathy. It's not always just about yourself. Put yourselves in the shoes of other people and listen to their stories.
Yeah.
This is how actually good friendships are born.
It's true,
Right?
exactly.
And number four, cultivate humility. Recognize that everyone's story is important, not just yours. And practice being humble by just recognizing that you are just one part of a bigger collection of experiences.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this and you feel like, I don't feel like I have MCE or MCS, maybe it's time to gain some confidence in yourself. Because
Right.
you are the main character of your life.
You are.
Not of other people's life, but your life, yes.
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 But I have to say though, I don't think you have to be either on the MCE or the MCS side.
Oh.
I feel like you can be neither.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person always talking about yourself, but you don't want to be that confident, outgoing person in the room as well.
Actually, I literally just had this conversation. I said, obviously, like my friends laugh like they were hearing bullshit or like, it was the most hilarious thing in the world. I don't know what's so funny about it, to be honest. But I just said like, I just really want to be unnoticed. Like, I just want to...
Have you seen her shoes today? They're very incognito. Like, I can't even see them.
They're very
are
unnoticeable.
Where are they?
No, but like, okay, maybe I joke about it, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, sometimes I just want to walk in and be unnoticed. Like, I've always wanted this, especially in school. I just wanted to be the girl at the back of the classroom. But I never was, and that's the problem. Leave me alone.
And you'll never be. The end. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. And we hope everyone, gets the chance to do some self-reflection and just, think about these concepts that we've discussed with you today.
That's right. For more content, please follow us on Instagram at itsclarity.co.
You can listen to us on Listen, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Turn on your notifications.
Yeah, if you have not seen the shoes, you might want to tune in on YouTube, where you can see them.
Zoom in a bit.
From Mars can see.
Kind of nice, though.
Yeah, they're quite nice, actually.
Okay, bye.
Bye!
I shall be a wallflower.
So he would never ask you, how about you? That's him, because he doesn't want to hear. So he would never ask about your life, like, how are you, Hazy?
Well, I think maybe 1 hour into the conversation. Hey, it's definitely
It's
him.
him, it's him. Oh, the aeroplane is back.
Can we
If you're
pretend
listening,
that airplanes in the night skies are like shooting stars?
Okay,